All right, so welcome back, or if you're new here, I am Amy from A Red Spatula, and today we are going to make a classic chocolate chip cookie with added caramel and pretzels. It is chewy, it's chocolatey, it's got the salty crunchiness of the pretzels, and it's absolutely perfect. They also happen to be very easy to make, so let me show you how. Now you can start by buying caramel bits. I couldn't find any in my local area, and so what I did is I just took Kraft caramels, cut them into quarters. You can cut them even smaller than that if you want smaller pieces, but I kind of like bigger chunks of caramel in mine. And then after that, break up your pretzels. You don't want to break them up too much because they're gonna get broken up while you're mixing it as well. And then once both of those are done, we're going to mix together our dry ingredients. This is the flour, the baking soda, and the salt. And then once that's mixed together, we're going to set it aside and start making our cookie dough. So we mix together our butter and our sugars until they're light and fluffy. This takes about a minute to maybe 2 minutes. Then add in your eggs, your vanilla. At this point, you do not want to overmix this dough. This is what will give you tough cookies. So just mix this until, I don't know, just until it comes together. It just takes maybe 10 seconds at the most. Then we're going to add in our dry ingredients. And again, the same thing after the eggs are in, do not overmix it. So just mix in the dry ingredients until it'll all come together. Again, it's maybe 15 or 20 seconds or so. Then once that's done, we're going to add in our caramels, the pretzels, the chocolate chips. We're going to give it another mix. It's going to be really tough with a mixer. I used a hand mixer. If you're using a stand mixer, it's not going to be as bad, but those chunks of caramel are kind of tricky to mix in. So after I mixed it for just a couple minutes with my stand or my hand mixer, I switch over to a spatula or a spoon to finish mixing it in. But you can see it kind of throws the mixer around just a little bit. And then once these are all mixed together, we're going to scoop them onto our baking sheet. And you can I prefer to use portion scoops. That just makes it easier to have a more uniform size. That way they all bake this. And I like to bake mine on a parchment lined baking sheet. It always makes for easier to clean up, but especially with the caramels, if they melt onto your baking sheet, it's such a mess. So line it with parchment paper. And then once that's done, if you want to, this is optional, but I love to add flake salt on the top. You don't have to do this, but I always love to do it. Now, these cookies don't spread a lot, so what I like to do is I actually like to press them down just a touch, shape them up just a little bit, and then they'll flatten out into the regular cookie shape. If you leave them just like they are, then they just bake into a ball. But this is what it looks like when they come out, and of course we don't want to overbake these. You want them to just be lightly browned around the edges, and they're perfect. Now, if you try these, of course, let me know. All of the ingredients and measurements are down in the description, and don't forget to subscribe.